Welcome back, students. Let's continue with the extrinsic semiconductors. In extrinsic semiconductors, there are two types. One is N-type semiconductor, which we have already studied yesterday, and the other one is P-type semiconductor. N-type semiconductor is obtained by adding a pentavalent impurity like arsenic, antimony, or phosphorus, anything which contains 5 valence electrons. So, after adding pentavalent impurities, we will get excess number of free electrons. So, which helps in conductivity. Okay. Then, what do you mean by P-type semiconductors? If you add pentavalent impurity, you will get N-type semiconductors. In N-type semiconductors, electrons are the majority charge carriers, holes are the minority charge carriers. Okay. In P-type semiconductors will be obtained by adding trivalent impurity. Trivalent impurity atoms such as boron, gallium, examples for trivalent impurity atoms are boron, gallium or aluminum, anything you can take. When trivalent impurity atoms are added, we will get P-type semiconductor. How? If you consider a pure silicon crystal which is having 4 valence electrons in each atom, then if a trivalent impurity atom boron is added to the pure semiconductor or intrinsic semiconductor, then what happens? Boron, which is having 3 valence electrons, so these 3 valence electrons of boron makes covalent bonding with the neighboring silicon atoms, but one covalent bond remains incomplete. One covalent bond remains incomplete and the vacancy is called as hole. Okay. When you add pentavalent impurities, those will be containing 5 valence electrons. Out of 5, 4 will make covalent bonding with the neighboring silicon atom. One electron remains as free. Here, when you add trivalent impurity, out of 3 valence electrons of a boron atom will make covalent bonding with the 3 neighboring silicon atoms, and one covalent bond remains incomplete because silicon is having 4 valence electrons, whereas your boron atom will be having 3 valence electrons. So, another valence electron of silicon atom cannot make covalent bonding because there is a deficiency of electron exists. That deficiency of electron is nothing but hole. Hole is a positively charged particle because it is ready to attract or capture neighboring electrons. So, what is the work of holes here? Holes will not keep quiet, they start attracting the electrons from the neighboring atoms. In this way, you can expect a hole current over there. What is the main purpose of doping? The main purpose of doping is to increase the number of charge carriers so that to increase the conductivity. In N-type semiconductors, we will add pentavalent impurities, and pentavalent impurities are also called as donor impurities because it donates one free electron for each atom of impurity, donates one free electron. So, they are called as donor impurities. Whereas in case of P-type semiconductors, we are going to add trivalent impurity. So, these trivalent impurities after adding, they donate, they create, we will get large number of holes without a free electron. Normally in intrinsic semiconductor, what happens? Whenever a valence electrons from the valence band jumps into conduction band, there is a free electron and also a hole. Whereas in case of n-type semiconductor, there are free electrons are available without creating holes. So you can expect large number of free electrons than holes. In case of p-type semiconductor, after adding trivalent impurity like boron, we have got excess number of holes than electrons, because holes are created by adding trivalent impurities. So without the creation of free electrons, you can expect holes over there. Okay, so these trivalent impurities are also called as acceptor ions. These are also called as acceptor ions because these will be ready to accept. What happens? Boron atom, if there are 100 atoms in a silicon crystal, if you add some 5 atoms of boron, small amount of impurity atom, what happens? There are 5 extra holes are created after adding due to the addition of impurity. So these 5 boron atoms forms acceptor ions because they are ready to accept the electron from the neighboring atom. So they are called as acceptor ions. These are called as acceptor ions. So the aid of remembering is for p-type semiconductor acceptor ions, for n-type semiconductors donor ions. You can expect N, the letter, you can remember like this: donor ions will be obtained in n-type semiconductor, acceptor ions will be obtained in p-type semiconductor. Okay, to get the n-type semiconductor, you need to add donor impurities, whereas for p-type semiconductor you need to add acceptor impurities. Okay, this is how we'll get p-type semiconductors. In p-type semiconductors, what are the majority and minority charge carriers? In n-type semiconductors, we had positive donor ions, whereas in p-type semiconductor, negative acceptor ions you can take. In p-type semiconductor, there are excess number of holes than electrons. So these are called as acceptor ions. You can also call as negative acceptor ions. And there are holes which are the majority charge carriers in p-type semiconductors, and electrons are minority charge carriers. You can observe electrons are very less in this diagram and holes are excess. So in n-type semiconductor, there are electrons are the majority charge carriers and holes are the minority charge carriers, whereas in p-type semiconductor, holes are the majority charge carriers and electrons are the minority charge carriers. In n-type semiconductors, what and all you will have? In n-type semiconductors, you will have large number of electrons and less number of holes and positive ions. Positive ions and positive donor ions. Okay. Here p-type semiconductor will have excess number of holes and very less number of electrons, which are minority charge carriers, and negative ions, negative acceptor ions. junction. You might have heard PN junction, which is very important, which is the basic building blocks of so many semiconductor devices such as diodes, transistors, LEDs, solar cell, photodiode, etc. There are so many different types of diode that you are going to study in further classes. So, to understand all those things, to understand the working of semiconductor devices in further, you have to understand clearly that how PN junction is formed. Okay? Junction in the sense, a meeting point you can tell. PN junction in the sense, it somewhat looks like in PN junction, this is what junction. That means in PN junction, you can expect a p-type material this side and n-type material this side. That means p-type semiconductor on one side and n-type semiconductor on another side. How it is formed? They take a single silicon crystal, single germanium crystal, anything, either silicon or germanium. A single semiconductor crystal is doped. What do you mean by doping? Addition of impurity ion. Is doped one side with the p-type material and another side with the n-type material. That means a single silicon crystal is doped one side with the acceptor impurities and the another side with the donor impurities. What happens if you dope with the acceptor impurities? You will get n-type semiconductor. This side, the single silicon crystal is doped with acceptor impurities or pentavalent impurities this side and donor impurities this side. What happens if the silicon crystal is doped with the acceptor impurities? You will get n-type semiconductor. If the silicon material is doped with the donor impurities, you will get p-type semiconductor. So one side is one side of the crystal, physically one side of the crystal is added with the donor impurities, you will get p-type semiconductor, and the another side will be added with the acceptor impurities, that is pentavalent impurities. What happens? Here in the left side there will be concentration of holes or more, whereas in n-type semiconductor there are excess of electrons you can expect. What happens? There is a concentration gradient occurs. Once the PN junction is formed, if this is a single silicon crystal, junction, you can call PN junction. What happens if this side a trivalent impurity is added to this side of the crystal and the pentavalent impurity is added to this side of the crystal? What happens? In P-type you can expect negative ions as well as here you can expect positive ions are accepted donor ions and large number of electrons and very less number of holes. Here, sorry, large number of holes and very less number of electrons, which are minority charge carriers. What happens once the p-n junction is formed? There is a concentration gradient. The electrons are more in n-type material, where holes are more in p-type. Holes are positively charged, whereas electrons are negatively charged. So concentration gradient occurs. Concentration gradient in the sense they are not evenly spaced. They are not evenly spaced. So what happens? These electrons starts attracted towards these holes and they start cross the junction. They start moving towards this n-type to p-type, and holes will start moving towards p-type to n-type. Okay. Then what happens at some particular point? When electrons from n-type will move towards the p-type and holes from p-type will move towards n-type, there is a recombination of holes and electrons will take place. There is a recombination of holes and electrons will take place. Okay, and this is called diffusion. This is called diffusion. When the p-n junction is formed, the majority charge carriers on n side or electrons start moving towards the p-type, and the majority charge carriers or holes on p-type start moving towards the n-type. There is a electron-hole recombination will take place. That means holes will be occupied by the electrons coming from this side. So that is called as diffusion. So how long it will be like this? How long? ಎಷ್ಟು ತನಕ ಇದೇ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ? Until there is a region formed near the junction which is completely of positive ions and in p-type completely of negative ions. See, silicon crystal is there, complete pure silicon crystal. One type is doping with the p-type material, p-type, that means one type is one side is doping with the donor impurities. Donor impurities are nothing but, for example, boron, donor impurities, for example, arsenic, and the another type is acceptor impurities, boron. What happens? Once the donor impurities leaves the free electrons, they will become positively charged ion, immobile ions. Okay. Whereas once the acceptor impurities leaves a hole, then they will become other 3 valence electrons of the boron atom will make covalent bonding with the neighboring atom. They will be fixed ions, immobile ions, immobile negative ions. Why they are negative? They are ready to accept electrons, so they are fixed negative ions on p side and fixed positive ions on n side. Once this layer is formed near the wall, or near the junction, the holes from this side cannot cross this junction because the positive ions on this side, both positive charges are repel each other. That means like charges are repel each other, unlike charges are attract each other. Positive magnet ಅಲ್ಲಿ positive pole, n pole, s pole ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, north pole, south pole ಅಂತ. If you unlike poles ಅಂದ್ರೆ attract ಆಗ್ತದೆ, like poles ಅಂದ್ರೆ repel ಆಗ್ತದೆ. In the same way charges, positive charge, negative charge ಇದೆ, holes ಇದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ electrons ಬಂದು acquire ಆಗ್ತದೆ, electrons will repel each other. So the positive charges here not allow the holes to come cross this junction and recombine with the electrons, and the negative charges or negative ions which are here will not allow these electrons to cross the junction. So at some point of time, once the junction is formed, holes and electron recombination takes place, that is diffusion takes place. Once the wall is formed, one side with the p side with the negative ions, then side with the positive ions, what happens? This is the recombination process will stop, and this is the region where there are no free electrons or holes. Here this region you cannot expect because holes will already crossed and electrons will already cross this. So there are no free electrons, there are no charge carriers in this region. This is called depletion region. This is called as depletion region. This is depleted of charge carriers. This is depleted of charge carriers. So no further recombination takes place. PN junction is formed. PN junction is formed. PN junction in the sense one side of the junction will be p-type material, another side of the material will remain as n-type material, and this joining space, this is called as PN junction. And in PN junction, how the depletion region is formed, that you have to understand clearly. Please read the textbook so that you can understand this concept easily. There will be a question how depletion region is formed in the examination for 3 marks. Okay, and tomorrow we'll study barrier potential. So for that you need to know what is potential difference, that and all. So tomorrow in tomorrow's class or in next class we'll go with the barrier potential, and let us stop here. Please read the textbook. We are covering only some topics every day, so you can read it, understand it clearly, so that further concepts will be easy for you. Okay, thank you. Any doubts? Textbook.